We begin today's wrestling news and rumors video with a bit of sad news regarding Samoa Joe. As most of you are probably aware by now, it was announced last night via Samoa Joe's social media that he is unfortunately relinquishing the NXT Championship because of certain injuries that were informed to him by WWE medical staff. And Samoa Joe will now have to step away from active competition for a while, hence why Joe has vacated the NXT Championship effective immediately. Now, by all means, this is truly sad and unfortunate news for Samoa Joe and his fans, because Samoa Joe was finally getting some momentum behind him again as an in-ring competitor in NXT after such a long time of Samoa Joe being forced to only do commentary work for WWE, and just when he was getting going as the NXT champion in his third reign, his in-ring career has once again been halted. While some fans have speculated that this could be a workhorse storyline, and Samoa Joe is not actually injured, one of our sources has mentioned that the chances of this being real are very high, and Samoa Joe has likely indeed suffered some injuries, forcing him to vacate the championship and take a step back from wrestling for the foreseeable future. Now hopefully Samoa Joe's injuries are not too serious or will force Samoa Joe to completely rethink his in-ring wrestling career, because his presence is definitely beneficial for the NXT brand. Hopefully Samoa Joe has a quick recovery and comes back soon, because it would truly be unfortunate if Joe has to once again go back into retirement and begin doing commentary work again for WWE, because he still has so much left to offer the company from an in-ring standpoint and is more than capable of performing still at a very high level. Let us know your thoughts on Samoa Joe vacating the NXT Championship as of yesterday because of more unfortunate injuries, and do you believe this to be real, or is it a workhorse storyline and perhaps even related to the revamp of NXT and WWE wanting to start off fresh? However, again, like we mentioned, it does seem like these injuries for Samoa Joe are legitimate, but let us know your thoughts on the whole situation. Brock Lesnar is back in a big way on Friday Night SmackDown and WWE in general, with the Beast Incarnate once again setting his sights on Roman Reigns and the Universal Championship last week on SmackDown, and while we definitely will be seeing a massive storyline between Roman Reigns and Lesnar play out following Extreme Rules 2021, there are already some big new shocking reports basically confirming that Brock Lesnar's days in WWE are very numbered, and the company are already planning for Brock Lesnar to pass the torch, so to speak, to another surprising wrestler, which means that Brock Lesnar has likely only signed a fairly short-term deal with WWE for big money, and Vince McMahon is planning for Brock to put over a superstar before he decides to once again leave WWE. And according to one of our sources, it is apparently very likely that Brock Lesnar has signed with WWE through until next year's WrestleMania 38 pay-per-view event, making it about a one-year part-time contract. While it definitely does make sense for WWE to be planning for the future, and having that big money spent on Brock Lesnar to pay off for the company in the future by having Lesnar put over a superstar that will be sticking around long term, the wrestler that is apparently being discussed behind the scenes in WWE for Brock Lesnar to put over and pass the torch to before his WWE career ends has gotten a lot of attention from fans, and not for the best of reasons. As many of you are well aware, one of the biggest new signings for WWE recently has been the Olympic Gold Medalist in wrestling Gable Steveson, who signed with the company just a few days ago, which not surprisingly garnered a lot of attention and buzz from the wrestling world, and rightfully so, as it is a major signing for WWE, especially when there also was reportedly interest from the UFC for Gable Steveson to join their company, but Gable decided that WWE was the best option for his career at this point in time. Now, the big rumors recently revealed by Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer that have gotten a lot of mixed reaction from fans is that WWE are apparently considering for Brock Lesnar to pass the torch to Gable Steveson at a WrestleMania in the future, which basically means that on Brock Lesnar's way out of WWE, he would lose to the newcomer Gable Steveson, thus putting him over as the next big thing in WWE. It has been stated that WWE are considering simply having Gable Steveson leapfrog the NXT brand and go straight to the main roster once he gets some training under his belt, which means that Brock Lesnar match could be happening a lot sooner than later, and perhaps even next year, as one report indicates that Gable Steveson is expected to appear in WWE as a television performer full-time in 2022. Now, a lot of fans feel as though it's premature for WWE to already be considering such big plans for Gable Steveson before it's even really clear how far in WWE he can truly go, and where his ceiling is. But this isn't that surprising of news considering how fond Vince McMahon is of Gable Steveson, and Brock Lesnar and Gable are actually very familiar with each other even before Gable joined WWE, as they trained together in Minnesota last year. Regardless, let us know your thoughts on WWE apparently planning for Brock Lesnar's WWE career to end by passing the torch to Gable Steveson. And do you feel that Gable is going to become a massive star for WWE, like Brock Lesnar or even more comparable, Kurt Angle? Let us know. Now, as many of you are likely aware, wrestling fans can sometimes get a little too passionate about the show and end up voicing their displeasure in a big way. And that's exactly what happened recently at a WWE live event, Super Show in Albany, New York last night, which saw Becky Lynch defeat Bianca Belair, which is what caused one fan in particular to get a little rowdy with the way the match ended. Now, during this match between Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair, Bianca was apparently dominating most of the match, only for Becky Lynch to get the win at the last minute with a roll-up pin out of nowhere, which is when fans started to get angry at Becky Lynch, with one fan in the audience of this live event shouting a curse word at Becky Lynch, in which Becky confronted the fan and started to talk trash back at this fan. And for those who claim Becky Lynch is still a babyface, that is definitely not the case, as she let this fan have it for shouting at her, and rightfully so. There has been some big news revealed earlier today that former NXT champion Johnny Gargano's contract with WWE is reportedly set to expire very soon. And as expected, with the likes of Adam Cole leaving WWE NXT for AEW, a lot of fans are speculating that Johnny Gargano could soon find himself leaving WWE and trying his luck in All Elite Wrestling. It has been reported that Johnny Gargano's WWE contract will be expiring in early December 2021, and Johnny has yet to sign any kind of a new contract with WWE as of yet, although one source mentions that WWE are going to be trying to re-sign Johnny this fall. Let us know your thoughts on yet another big name NXT wrestler's contract expiring soon, this time being Johnny Gargano. And do you feel that Johnny should re-sign with WWE and either be a part of this new revamped NXT, or possibly move up to the main roster on Raw or SmackDown? Or do you feel like Johnny should just leave WWE and join AEW? In all honesty, it is pretty doubtful that Johnny Gargano would amount to very much on the main roster of WWE, and it is very probable that he would not move above the mid-card US or Intercontinental title scene, and that's if he even reaches that level on the main roster. Johnny Gargano would likely be better off staying in NXT if he was to re-sign with WWE, but with how things are going, AEW could be a good option for Gargano at this point of his career.